This question comes from Max, who asks, what if every sound you heard was also visible? Now, I try not to assume anything about people's motivations, but I have to admit, if you're asking what happens when we turn the entire concept of sound into a fireworks show directly in front of your eyeballs, I'm starting to think you enjoy chaos just a little too much. Here's the situation Max is describing. Every sound from a whisper to a jet engine suddenly produces its own floating, glowing, wiggling thing in the air. Imagine a world where someone coughing creates a small blue ripple. A passing motorcycle leaves behind a bright orange shockwave ribbon, and your neighbor's car alarm generates a continuous strobe effect that makes you seriously reconsider your life choices. And that's the calm version. Let's get scientific. Sound is basically pressure waves traveling through air. Normally, we hear them. Easy. But Max wants us to see them in real time, which means your brain now has to handle a constant 3D hologram of every vibration happening around you. This becomes a problem almost immediately. The human world is loud. The average city has thousands of overlapping sound sources per second. So instead of the peaceful auras of sound Max probably imagines, what you would actually see is static. Just static. Like someone took every fireworks show ever held, smashed them into a blender, and then duct taped the blender to your forehead. Let's walk through it. A normal conversation produces sound waves around 60 decibels. That's your friend saying, "Hey, can you hear me?" If sound were visible, that question would create a faint ripple around their mouth. Cute, manageable. Now let's add all the other conversations happening within 20 meters of you, say in a coffee shop. Suddenly, the air becomes a soup of overlapping ripples, ribbons, spirals, and wavefronts, stacking on top of one another faster than your eyes can process. You would have no idea what anything is anymore. The world becomes a kaleidoscope. Walls? Gone. People? Gone. Your phone screen? Lost forever under a glowing pile of latte orders and background chatter. Okay, maybe you think, I'll just go outside where it's quieter. Bad news. Wind produces sound. That's visible now. Birds, visible. The subtle hum of distant traffic, a shimmering gray fog. Your own breathing, two ghostly pulses radiating from your face every few seconds. And then the real trouble starts. Low frequencies. When a truck rumbles past, it produces long, slow pressure waves. In Max's new visible sound reality, those appear as massive, rolling, translucent shock domes, expanding through the street like someone set off a slow-motion bomb made of glass. And if you think that's bad, wait until thunder strikes. A thunderclap is about 120 decibels. That's roughly the threshold where sound starts doing damage. If sound were visible, a thunderclap would look like a gigantic, expanding, high-energy wall of distortion that briefly turns the entire sky into a glowing sphere. In other words, great for Instagram, terrible for survival. But we're not done yet. There's one sound you can't escape, your own voice. Talking creates a constant expanding bubble of sound energy. That means that every sentence you speak generates a new glowing ripple that passes straight through walls, furniture, pets, your friend's face, everything. Visual clutter increases exponentially. Within about 30 minutes, the world becomes so visually noisy that your eyes literally cannot parse reality anymore. Your brain would give up trying to track the chaos. You would wish you were hearing impaired. You would wish you were blind. But unfortunately, you are now both fully sighted and fully overwhelmed. However, there is one silver lining. If every sound were visible, true silence would become the most beautiful thing in the universe. Quiet rooms would look like empty, crystal clear air. Whispers would paint tiny swirling lights. Music would create controlled sculptures of motion. And a violin might genuinely look like art in motion. But based on the decibel levels of modern life, humanity wouldn't live in that peaceful world. We'd live inside a full-time, 24/7 sensory hurricane. So in conclusion, making sound visible wouldn't enhance your senses. It would blind you faster than staring into the sun through a telescope someone taped to a chainsaw. But hey, at least now you can see how loud your neighbor's blender is.